Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam out to get you. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download Truebill to take control of your subscriptions. Truebill is a new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about. On an average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. Truebill has over 2 million users and helped save them over 100 million. I love Truebill because it has saved me a bunch of money and has kept me on track with my finances. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/think. Go right now. Truebill.com/think. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/think.
No one likes waiting on a paycheck, especially when you've got bills due. Good thing there's Chime. Now you can get your paycheck up to 2 days early with direct deposit. That's up to 2 more days to save, pay bills, and generally just feel good about your money situation. Chime is more than just about getting paid early. It is also an award-winning mobile app, checking account, debit card, and optional savings account. Being an entrepreneur can be very difficult since I don't have that consistent, this is when your check is coming. However, I do keep a 9 to 5. I love using Chime because guess what? I get my check 2 days early. So what are you waiting for? Hopefully not your paycheck. Get started with Chime today. Applying for a free account takes less than 2 minutes. Get started at chime.com/think. That's chime.com/think. Banking services and debit cards provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank N.A. members FDIC. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer. From cringing at the pump to getting an eye-popping check at your favorite restaurant, inflation is hitting us all where it hurts. And it really hurts. That's why I started using Upside. Upside is an incredible app for anyone who buys gas, groceries, or dines out. With every purchase, I'm earning cash back thanks to Upside. The app is super easy to use. You literally just click on the Upside app. You can enter your zip code or you can search what's near you. And when I say they give you cash back, I'm not talking about 1%, 2%. There are some places that give between 10 and 25% cash back. I'd love to tell you that I use my cash back on my kids, but the secret and honest truth is I use my cash back money on myself. I've been treating myself a little bit here and there because I'm the one making the smart decisions to even use Upside in the first place. It literally seems too good to be true. So that's why I need you to check it out for yourself. Upside is a no-brainer. To get started, download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play. Use our promo code THINK and get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. Next, claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. Check in at the business, pay as usual with a credit card or debit card, and get paid. In comparison to credit card rewards or loyalty programs, you can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Upside users are earning more than $1 million every week. That's probably why they have a 4.8 star rating on the App Store. Download the free Upside app and use promo code THINK and get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more using promo code THINK. Hi, Think Loud Crew listeners. Due to the current climate that we are living in of Roe versus Wade being overturned, we wanted to rerun our episode with Valerie Lynn. Valerie Lynn is a post-pregnancy wellness specialist, author, and advocate. In this episode, we speak about how to take care of yourselves after abortion, stillbirth, postpartum care, and more. Valerie is the author of the Mommy Plan, which was a result of a year-long research study that she conducted via the Malaysian Ministry of Health. She worked backwards and put the science behind centuries of evidence-based proof. She has since launched the Eco-Postnatal Care, which has an Eco-Postnatal Care kit for post-pregnancy and childbirth. It also helps for abortions, miscarriages, and stillbirths. The work that she has done can be seen as preventative measures to help decrease the numbers of postpartum mood and anxiety disorders and just overall complications and issues that happen after giving birth or after your body being in a pregnant state. Here at the Think Loud crew, we believe that abortion is part of healthcare. Dig into this episode. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're here to fight the good fight. Thank you for tuning in to the Think Loud crew.
Welcome to the Think Loud Crew podcast. 3 moms getting real with parenthood, relationships, and our WTF moments of our daily lives. I'm Cheyenne, and I should know this intro by now, so don't judge me on the YouTube. But today we have a very special guest, so I'm very excited.
My name is Kyle, and our guest today
I was going to say Kyle's not our guest.
Actually, my name is Kyle Lynn. Today we have Valerie Lynn with us. I am very excited to have this conversation because I've been working with Valerie, and Valerie's been guiding me and coaching me throughout my pregnancy recovery. So I'm really excited to jump into this conversation and to be able to share her knowledge with you and just things that I've learned that have helped make this transition smoother for me, whether it's emotionally, physically, mentally, a whole lot. And just, it's really resting well with my soul. So I would like to present Valerie Lynn, everyone. Woo, I feel like writer. I need the crowd goes wild.
Right.
So Valerie, can you give us a little tidbit on who you are and what has brought you to the current position that you're in terms of eco-postnatal care and pregnancy recovery?
Sure. Thanks for having me, first of all. And my name is Valerie Lynn, and my company is Post-Pregnancy Wellness, and we provide eco-postnatal care to moms recovering from pregnancy, miscarriage, stillborn birth, and abortion. And this came about because I've been living overseas for about 25 years, and about 20 of it in Malaysia. And after I had my son in 2007, I experienced postpartum anxiety and OCD, and about four months later. And I didn't realize what it was until a year later, reading articles out of America, because I was in Malaysia at the time, that the rates were so high. And what I had, and the penny dropped. Then at that same moment, I was reading, I discovered that Malaysia had the lowest rates of postpartum mood disorders in the world. And I was really astounded, and I went deeper and deeper, and I wound up taking out a spa package, actually a traditional postnatal spa package, which actually is under postnatal health. And I rebalanced naturally in about 3 months. And so from that, I just went very deep into my research through the Ministry of Health in Malaysia and hospitals in the field. And I reverse engineered their practices and found out why Malaysia has the lowest rates of postpartum mood disorders in the world. And I'm introducing it to us in the U.S. and other Western countries where we don't have guidelines. We don't know why we do this, why we shouldn't do that. And generally us Western women don't listen to people unless we know the why.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gave us the reason behind Malaysia and their postnatal care.
Wait, so was your son in Malaysia with you?
I always say with my son Jordan, he was made in Malaysia and then came back to New Jersey. That's where I'm from, for 9 months. It was planned that way. My ex-husband's Australian.
Okay.
And so I wound up having him in New Jersey, and then went back. That was May 2007, and went back 3 months later to Malaysia.
Okay.
So that's how. That's why I didn't do the practices for the first 6 to 8 weeks.
Got it.
And in that, Valerie is also an author. She is the author of The New Mommy Plan. And I started, reading your book, and you touched on how when you had your son in New Jersey, you were like, okay, what's my pregnancy recovery plan? Like, where are the postnatal spas? Where are the postnatal treatments? And those treatments, there are massages, there's firming paste, there's things for your baby blues, there's the wrapping of the belly. And you weren't able to find any of that here. And you were like, wait, what's going on? And just, it's a completely different experience in Malaysia. So you just talked about how you took out a traditional spa package. What does that mean? Like, what does postnatal care look like in Malaysia?
In Malaysia, it's structured, it's prepared for and planned for. It's not a random recovery. And women usually have it sorted out and their plan by the beginning of the third trimester, the first week. And it entails the body care, and it entails your diet and how you live your lifestyle. There's those precautions to protect the body that you don't want to expose yourself to, that is based all on the postnatal anatomy and the state that it's in afterwards. Because birth and growing a baby and birthing is a lot more on the body than we think here. Mm-hmm. And we don't realize that because it's not, I don't want to say it's not important, but it's just deemed, it's not covered in the medical community.
It's not taught. It's not shared. It's, they always tell us, oh, you're pregnant for 9 months. It's actually 10 on average. And then they tell you, go home, don't lift anything over 25 pounds and just be all about your baby. But it's still, how are we supposed to heal internally? How are we supposed to, you know, there's this huge snapback culture in like Western societies, which to me, I've never really kind of understood, because it's, your body goes through a lot. And even in pregnancy, like when you're reading about pregnancy, on average, they're like, you know, most women only gain about 20 to 30 pounds. I don't know any of these women that only gain 20 to 30 pounds.
I gained way more than 20 to 30.
I gained like 80 pounds. I don't know where that 80 pounds came from, because my kids weren't, you know, it's not like I was having 10-pound babies, but it's, your body literally becomes this oven that is cooking a child. And it's a lot. It's a lot. And our organs get squished up. Everything's getting moved around. Your hips spread. Like, there's a lot. There's
your nose spreads.
Your nose can spread. Your skin can go crazy. Like, we all know, like, a pregnant woman's hormones are, they can be pretty atrocious. But it's not in our control. It's a process of creating this human. But yeah, they talk about, they shorten our pregnancy time. They don't give us any like recovery guidelines. And then it's like,
I would say,
be sane and be normal
now. For my birth, my labor with Ryder, and then the after recovery, like information I got was like very, very minuscule. When I had ACE, because it was throughout COVID, it was so much more. But I really think with COVID, they were taking more precautions because the mental health and postpartum and stuff. When I was getting ready to leave the hospital, I was, ready for the little pamphlet that I got with rides, like check a few boxes if you're happy or sad and you're ready to go. They were very, very anal this time around. And I asked them why, what changed. And they were like, well, COVID, the depression rate, pregnant or not, has skyrocketed. Wow. So I thought it was interesting to see, okay, now you guys are taking it a little bit more serious. And even when you do your checkup appointments with the baby, they would be very thorough. Our pediatrician would be very thorough to sit there and ask me a bunch of questions about myself, where I feel like, again, it was a lot more this time around than back when I had Ryder.
I agree with that. My insurance company called me more. And they were like, hey, I just want you to know these are the services that we offer. Like, do you have a doula? Are you working with a midwife? I think they were trying to bring more programs in to help support the mother. Just because when, after you deliver, there's all the attention is pretty much on the baby. It's never really focused on the mother in terms of recovering or the transition, I feel. Yeah. Ryder K.
Right.
I just got dressed from a shower. Yeah, so I do agree with you that things
it's a lot different.
Changed.
And even things have changed on social media. When I was pregnant with Ryder, if I looked up the hashtag pregnancy or postpartum or recovery, it was way different, the things that came up then than what come up now. I mean, now if there's so many things online way more back then that you can find now that are more accessible about postpartum recovery, and even about like being comfortable in your body. Like women are starting to post their bodies more now after having a child, just to show the snapback culture that, you know, I look like this. And I feel like it's becoming more and more and more in our face.
Yeah, it helps us feel, I think, more empowered to be able to embrace our bodies, and knowing that it's just gone through a huge change. But I do want to comment one thing. So the difference that I saw in Cheyenne between pregnancy number 1 and pregnancy number 2. Pregnancy number 1, like she said, there was no thoughts of or knowledge or know-how in terms of how to heal after pregnancy, you know, for the mom and what her body's gone through. And you've touched on this before, how you experienced some postpartum depression after you had Ryder in that first year, I feel. With Ace, however, you were more proactive in planning your pregnancy recovery, which I admired, I loved, and it sparked me on this whole journey, which is even how I, you know, started to research pregnancy recovery, and how I found Valerie and reached out, and just knowing that there are options. And like you said, social media has really changed. So that's where we became familiar with the, excuse me if I'm saying this wrong, the Bingkung belly wrap, the belly binding. And Cheyenne actually, she took time for herself, necessary mommy time to do the wrapping and to have a set hour where she would, you know, it was her hour to do nothing but just be treated and to be loved on and do like a mental wellness check. And I really saw the importance of that, because, you know, once you have a child, you're at the, you know, the beck and call of this child, whether it's feeding, changing diapers, bathing, just I'm crying, I want a hug. It's a constant, permanent 24-hour job. So,
and it doesn't stop.
Oh, it doesn't stop. I was like, Jordan is now 14.
Yes.
And he's still going. I'm like,
it just changes what they want. But that's why in America, you know, we deal with all of these external factors. But what we're doing after childbirth is we need to put the body back together internally, physically, spiritually, mentally, because the body basically unhinges giving birth. And I don't like to make this comparison, like, you know, like a mouth of a snake or something, that we unhinge and then we give birth. Even if you've had a surgical birth, there's things that need to be healed. And so that's what Malaysian,
don't they like take your organs out or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like how do you feel normal after that when your organs have just sat down next to you and then put them back in you?
The wrong like visual of what a cesarean looks like, because I hear they take your organs. I don't know if they're just like moving them over, or if it's like, let me actually.
In my head, they're sitting on top of you, or they're like sitting next to you.
I had an emergency cesarean.
So
with Jordan. So
where were your organs?
Thank God there was a screen. I don't know, because your screen is like up to your chest.
I'd be like, can you tell me where they're at now?
But yeah, I mean, just, you know, just taking that, putting it, it's so unsettling. And then I, you know, when I woke up, my cousin was there, and couldn't hold Jordan because I felt nauseous and I was vomiting still from the pharmaceutical effects, and it was not what you would think. And that's really a typical, I don't want to say it's typical, but it's common in New Jersey, that has very high rates of cesarean.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So it was hard. And so when I was like, okay, where's the things now I've done this that help with the internal healing,
right?
That, you know, rebalancing the hormones, losing that, you know, the water, fat, and flatulence, the air, because your body's very airy afterwards too, and that can resettle. Of course, you know, the fat. How is that going to start to be relieved and released? Mm-hmm. And we just don't do that here. But
it's like massages, like
when I worked with the company, what's it called? Belly
Belly bind.
Thank you. I'm like, damn it. When I worked with Belly Bind, I worked with Tay. She would come here and she would do an hour with me. And the first day she was like, I'm going to press on your stomach and it might like release. And I'm like, release what? Is it going to come out of me? And she's like, yeah, it can. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was thinking about how when you go through afterbirth, which I feel like is something also that we didn't talk about or we don't talk about.
Yeah.
And I was not prepared for afterbirth when I had Ryder because I didn't even know that there was an afterbirth after I had Ryder. I'm like, did I not do enough research on this? But I feel like when you do a lot of pregnancy and labor research, it's all about the initial labor, but it's not enough information about afterbirth and that they push on your stomach and you still have to deliver a placenta. And it's like a whole nother 45 minutes to an hour of labor and the baby's already out. I'm like, nobody told me this. I'm looking at my mom like, why didn't you tell me this? And
Y'all, I watched Cheyenne's afterbirth and
it was
in
nuts.
complete awe. Just like,
I'm like, no one explained that this is a whole nother process.
there's no video or textbook or
No one
teacher
talks
that
about
could have prepared me
afterbirth.
for that because
They're not showing that in the movies.
Gynecologist talks about it.
No,
Like,
in the
your
movie,
delivery,
you
like,
have the baby in the movie, and then the baby gets clean, and you're holding the baby. No one shows the hour that it takes to push on your stomach, and you're pushing out extra blood and whatever the hell is coming out, and then you deliver your placenta, and then if you tore, they're stitching you up. Like, it's a whole nother hour process that you're sitting there with your legs wide open while everybody's over there cooing over the baby, and it's like, hey, did you guys forget about me over here?
You're worn out.
Right, you don't even care at that point. Like,
you're worn out.
at that point, I'm butterflied, and I'm like, just fix it. Just try to fix it as best as you can.
Anyone could walk in right now, and I'm not flinching.
No, not at all. So I feel like when Tay was like, okay, I'm gonna push in your stomach, I immediately had like PTSD from afterbirth experiences, but it was very gentle, and it was not like, some huge gush of anything, but it was a very gentle massage. But after, I would feel so like better, and I'm like trying to figure out, can I push on my own stomach and like make myself feel like better? And we did firming paste. She taught me how to wrap my stomach, and she would play like this meditation thing, and I swear it was Oprah. And one day I looked at her and said, is that Oprah's voice? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, what the hell meditation tape is this? I am like, damn girl, Oprah, you be in everything.
So Oprah's getting all the coins.
Bro, I swear in the beginning it's literally Oprah's voice. I'm like, why am I getting calm to Oprah? But it was such a difference in like looking forward to that hour. And I was so sad when my package was ending. And I'm like, now what, Tay? Like, I don't want you to leave. And then she taught me how to self-wrap, where if you would have told me in the beginning of our sessions that I was going to be able to do it myself at the end, I would have looked at her like she was crazy. But throughout each one, she would teach and I would do it, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. And it helped so much, the difference in me taking that hour out of a day to just breathe and to not worry. And if Ace would start crying and he's in another room, she would say, it's okay, just go tend to the baby. Like, it was very, very like gentle. Yeah. And I'm like, dang, I wish I would have known about this before.
Yeah. So when I saw Cheyenne doing this, I was like, internet, what can I do? But just the person I am, I was, let me just dig a little deeper. Like, where does this come from? Why don't we know? Why isn't this commonly talked about or practiced? Like, where's the cultural disconnect for me? And in that research, I came across Valerie and her website, and y'all have to go to the website. We're going to insert it right here. Please go read Valerie's bio, because you see more of a breakdown of what she's done, and you can see the numbers of Malaysia versus the U.S., where Malaysia, the global benchmark at 3%, for postpartum.
So does Malaysia have a longer period, like a maternity leave?
I mean, they have a 3-month maternity leave, but what they really focus on is the first 6 weeks.
No way.
And so that's when the body is naturally healing itself. So it's minimum effort, maximum results. And there's a sequence to how they do the body treatment. and which, it helps the body warm the body, and then you stimulate the body, and then the body sheds the water, the fat, and flatulence, rebalances the hormones, which helps breast milk production, gives you energy. So there's a whole system. Mm-hmm. So I did my research through the Ministry of Health and hospitals in the field, and I reverse engineered their core practices, and that's why I wrote the book, The New Mommy Plan.
Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam out to get you. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download Truebill to take control of your subscriptions. Truebill is a new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about. On an average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. Truebill has over 2 million users and helped save them over 100 million. I love Truebill because it has saved me a bunch of money and has kept me on track with my finances. Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/think. Go right now. Truebill.com/think. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/think.
No one likes waiting on a paycheck, especially when you've got bills due. Good thing there's Chime. Now you can get your paycheck up to 2 days early with direct deposit. That's up to 2 more days to save, pay bills, and generally just feel good about your money situation. Chime is more than just about getting paid early. It is also an award-winning mobile app, checking account, debit card, and optional savings account. Being an entrepreneur can be very difficult since I don't have that consistent, this is when your check is coming. However, I do keep a 9 to 5. I love using Chime because guess what? I get my check 2 days early. So what are you waiting for? Hopefully not your paycheck. Get started with Chime today. Applying for a free account takes less than 2 minutes. Get started at chime.com/think. That's chime.com/think. Banking services and debit cards provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank N.A. members FDIC. Early access to direct deposits funds depends on payer.
So because I feel like out here when men hear like postpartum recovery or postpartum depression or anxiety, it's kind of like still kind of like taboo or like you'll be fine. In Malaysia, are the men receptive to the females like setting up this, care for them, or are they is it just like this is what it is?
No, 100%. They understand that this is kind of a woman's domain, and they give people the space. And it's also something that's cultural in Malaysia, where the medical field still takes responsibility up until birthing a healthy baby and a mom. And then this is where culture takes over. But Malaysia, the government invests billions of dollars every year. Each woman is allotted 6 2-hour body treatments, wrappings, and treatments all within the first 6 weeks that give birth in a public hospital.
So it's covered through your insurance.
Yes, it's super important. That's the government, the national policy in the public hospitals. The private do the private, but they start with target day 5, start by day 7, finish by day 44, and they do these wrappings. And actually, the company that you're talking about uses my products that I import, actually from Malaysia. So I know that company.
You have great products.
Y'all, I use Valerie's products and I'm not pregnant anymore. Well, duh, it's post-pregnancy. But I'm not I'm always going to be in my healing stage. But I used all the products up and literally I miss them. I miss the smells. I miss the feelings, the warmth, like the tingling sensation.
So the firming paste was yours?
Yes. Did you not love the firming paste?
I did. I wanted her to leave it on longer.
Oh, I still have it. I
don't know if is it going to firm anything now?
Well, no, it's interesting. So I started Valerie's program, was that like January and February. So I was like 3-4 months postpartum. And I'd kind of hit like a plateau weight wise. And it's not like I'm like, oh, let me go work out. But I am mindful because I'm going to be in a wedding in September. So, you know, what's going on with my body is
Size 2 only.
whoa. Anyways.
Can't come to my own wedding.
Bye. I don't know anyone who wears a size 2 anymore except for the kids.
Like 3 of my friends. I'm like, can you guys get big for my wedding so I look smaller?
They're structurally petite. But after I did the program and followed, you know, the protocol, the Malaysian protocol and the routine, I lost another 15 pounds. Not working out. I didn't really change much in my diet. Valerie also is an author of a cookbook where she has the recipes for postnatal
Valerie,
care.
you be busy, girl.
When I say Valerie's been working like this, I'm very appreciative of Jordan, her son, because he put her on a path that I think has been very necessary and needed, and like someone needed to do the work, and Valerie did the work, and it's people are probably annoyed at me, like all my friends who are pregnant right now, or like the men. I'm like, hey, like I know you guys are in bliss right now, but like, have you guys discussed a recovery plan? Like, what are we doing for the 4th trimester? And they're like, I'm a new dad. I'm not a dad yet, but I'm a new dad. What is the 4th trimester? And I'm like, let me send you some stuff, or let me talk to you about some things. And also in terms of like preventative health, you know, preventative health care in terms of, because Malaysia takes the time to invest, you know, in the people, in the women, and pregnancy is, you know, to me, it seems like it's very sacred. That preventative care takes the postpartum mood and anxiety disorders way down. So they're at 3%. The US is like around like 25%. So it's like 1 million new cases per year, undocumented, like off the record, you know. There's a lot of women who aren't recording it, who aren't seeking help, or who may not even know that they're experiencing it. So it's PMAD. Do they call it PMAD? Or is it like...
Yeah, called that postpartum mood and anxiety disorders.
Yeah.
So I think PMAD,
PMAD. You know what? After pregnancy, our bodies get a little mad because they need some
How
love
long
and
is
tender care.
Postpartum. Is there like a timestamp?
Well, I mean, you have pregnancy, which is 40 weeks. And then you got to tack on the 4th trimester. That's an additional 12. So you're looking at a year.
12 weeks?
It's 12 weeks. Yes.
How long is that in months?
Wow.
So it's
3 months.
It's another 3 months.
Okay.
So you got to look at pregnancy as 52 weeks, and you will need this. And officially postpartum, technically postpartum just means after the birth, focusing on the mom. Technically, in medical terminology, that's all that means. But it's gotten this negative connotation: postpartum hemorrhage, postpartum anxiety, postpartum, depression. But really, technically, that's what it means. But so when we say postpartum, so that's why people are using other ways to describe it. I'm trying to say your partum. Okay, let's design your partum, because we look at it negative. And for me, in countries like Malaysia, it's an opportunity to replenish your body. It's an opportunity to use the relaxin hormone in your body and that take advantage of that natural healing that the body's having and harness it, which we do in Malaysia. So we actively manage and harness that shedding process, and it's more efficient. So in Malaysia, they actually restructure their body after childbirth through wraps and through things like that, because you have that level of hormone in your body. And so it's a real opportunity. And so it's why it's under traditional beauty, but it's really traditional feminine health care.
Okay. Can you have, like, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but like late postpartum depression? Like, I feel like a lot of times, right when you have the baby, everyone's looking at you like, you okay, like trying to figure it out. But what if it doesn't come for months? Like, are you just considered depressed, or do you still think that that's a part of like your postpartum recovery or experience?
No, it is. I didn't get mine until month 4 months afterwards.
When it happened, were you aware of what was happening? Like, could you identify it yourself, or did it take time? Was it from an outside perspective that was like, hey, I see this? Or like, how did you realize that you were experiencing PMAD?
It was the anxiety, not depression. And 14 years ago, it wasn't a common. And I was in Malaysia. That was the country with the lowest rates. So no one really talks about it. And even to this day, I'm postpartum support international country coordinator for Malaysia for the last 12 years. And we're in 138 countries. And I still struggle for women that contact me to find someone that, deals with postpartum mood disorders. So it's always an add-on. But I did not know. I read articles out of America. A year later, I was still experiencing it. I started about month 4. By month 12, again, May 2008, Mother's Day, reading articles out of America, the penny dropped what I had. Because I had a clean mental health history. Mm-hmm. And for me, my experience with postpartum anxiety was I thought accidentally I was going to kill or hurt my son somehow. Whether I was going to fall down a stair, whether I was going to, leave him in the bath, something that was irrational and that was causing me to have the OCD. Because like you're locking the door 20 times or you're checking your baby 20 times, and that would only relieve it. So you're in a state of just high anxiety, and it's very exhausting. And just because you have the baby and you're out, I had this clean mental health, and I was a strategic business consultant in Asia. I ran the American Chamber of Commerce. Like, you think, oh, she's okay, but I was not on the inside. But you couldn't talk about it. Mm. And so I was self-diagnosed, and that was like 50% of the relief when I found out. And then that's when I turned and I got this package. The package was a combination of just massages with specific type of oils that were heaty to the body, because my postpartum mood disorders is an imbalance of hormones, because your body stagnates. You have a baby and the postpartum functions are triggered, and everything else in the body becomes secondary, your digestion and your circulation and your metabolism. So you need to stimulate the body externally with natural things, because pregnancy is natural and birth is a natural event. And so you just need natural things to help the body stabilize. So, but us in America and Western countries, we don't have, you shouldn't do this, you should do that. So we're always interrupting that process of restabilization and release of the water and fat. And so it's a longer, weakened recovery. So we don't understand it. So these are the things that I have studied, the postnatal anatomy, so I could explain them to moms.
So for somebody who's out here and let's say they don't have the financial backing to go to, to do a program like I did, or to, get the massages, like what would you suggest for someone to do that was just home and doesn't necessarily have the financial backing or the help to take, time off without the children? Like, what would be your suggestion?
People come to me all the time and they do say that, and they say we're in a culture that doesn't prepare, and this is preparation, and you do need it because it makes a world of difference. So the things that I would recommend that people get is first of all, a feminine wash, and then we're not talking a douche, nothing like that. And it's herbal, and you can make this at home, but you need to also add traditional feminine herbs that are used for like vaginal toning and wound healing and things that are there to replenish the womb and restore it so you recuperate. So there's things, and you definitely should wrap from, the hips up, at least for the first 3 weeks, and to hold the perineum floor, because we don't do anything for a perineum floor here either in the U.S. And so that's a really big consideration after childbirth, whether you've had a cesarean or regular birth. And so you need to understand the body a bit more. And so I would say feminine wash and a wrap and some type of a herbal tea. Again, a herbal tea that helps the body, the digestion, the digestive tract. Mm-hmm. And you got to look at what's there. It has to be stimulating, circulating, and warming properties. And the whole education part's a whole nother
say something
field.
That really stood out to me. Will you talk about the hot and cold state?
Wait, sorry, before you go there, the wash and the tea and the wrap, is that all stuff that you have on your site?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Is it expensive? Is it?
No, there's different packages. There's like a full Monty package with like a whole set for 30 days with my 2 books, with an hour coaching with me, with videos and product usage charts. So that's $350 for.
I thought you were about to be like $2,000.
No, I did get into this. My heart really got into this to reduce the rates of postpartum mood disorders, because what I went through was awful. And I was a bitch for the whole year. And so when I look back on that, if I wasn't in Malaysia with a live-in help, I don't know how I could have coped.
Yeah.
So you
had a high, I feel like a demanding job. Like your work was demanding. So you didn't have the option.
Like 60, 70 hours a week.
Mentally to be like, oh, let me just check out. Like you not only had to show up for your child and your job, but you had to show up for yourself to even get there.
Yeah. And I didn't.
So if that package has all of that,
and that's everything,
right. So then, like, what would be like a feminine wash?
A feminine wash is, what is that? I think it's like $30. I think $30,
so
$35.
They're affordable.
They're affordable,
So it's $14, because the first 4 days after birth are devoted to the perineum. You should have that. Okay, so because you had a baby, you're going to be bleeding, you're going to be open, the cervix is going to be open. So you have to have things that that help shrink the cervix and the vagina, and get things back to normal faster.
So I know we were asking or talking about if you can use the feminine wash even like way after you've had a baby. So that's okay?
Yeah, it is. All this is traditional feminine healthcare. I mean, I use these products now, but after childbirth, you need a concerted amount of just support for the body. But this can be used at any time, as well as for recovery after miscarriage, stillborn birth, and abortion. Because your body was put in motion and you were pregnant, and the body let go for whatever reason. And so things are going to reverse even faster. And they don't have that benefit of the same type of internal healing process that happens when you go full-term birth.
So how many weeks or how long would you use the products after a miscarriage or an abortion? And do you use the same products, or is it like only a certain amount, or like certain types of products? Is it more like the feminine wash? With pregnancy, I know there's wrapping. Do you need that wrapping to feel, for everything to be snug in that warm state? Like, what products would you suggest or recommend for healing or the recovery after like a miscarriage or an abortion?
It depends with the wrapping. It depends how far you went with the pregnancy. So it could, if you're, over 20 weeks, it does help. It depends how distended that the abdomen the muscles started to be affected by the size of the baby. And many women just do wrap afterwards because it makes them feel good that they're doing something for emotional reasons. But for those type of pregnancies, there's a smaller bundle that they would use. The tea and the feminine wash. There's even like a herbal compress that helps the abdomen that you can use, that infuses deep heat into the womb, that helps it close faster. Mm-hmm. And
have you been approached by women in that type of situation?
Yes.
So is it common, or is it something that doesn't happen that often?
People don't know that what they can do. Mm-hmm. We don't know what's happening in the body, because everything is internal. Even the vagina is internal. So we don't even know what's happening there. And there's just so many people who don't even know what their own vagina looks like, let alone how it functions and how the body functions during pregnancy and afterwards. So they're not looking for these recovery products because they don't think they're out there. And it's very gentle. When we think of recovery, we think of this, big ordeal.
Right.
And so this is, small, where for a pregnancy package, a miscarriage package I sent out just last week, it had a tea, it had a herbal oil, and it had a feminine wash.
It makes so much sense, like hearing you say it now, that you would still go through like a recovery process even after like a miscarriage or an abortion or something. But I think in not being ignorant, but just not even thinking about it, you wouldn't even necessarily think that you still go through some of the same things and would need a recovery package. But it's like your hormones are still not the same, and on overdrive to figure out whatever the hell's going on in your body. So it makes so much sense hearing you say it, but I think it's kind of like how you said that people don't even know that these things are available to you.
Yes, because it's not part of our culture. And so they would follow between 1 and 3 weeks of a recovery. That they do a pregnancy. After pregnancy, it's usually about 6 to 8 weeks. This is like between 1 and 3 weeks, depending on your situation.
Got it.
Is it the same thing as far as if you were to do an abortion by taking a pill or by a surgical abortion? Is it the same kind of recovery or is it different?
Yeah, no, it's the same. It's the same because you have the core tenets of what you do and how the body functions and reverses, no matter race, creed, it doesn't culture. You're looking at break it down to the feminine body and the postnatal anatomy, and that's the common element. And so that's why I took everything back to science, postnatal food science, anatomy, and looked at what happens structurally in the body.
Got it. The cookbook is also postnatal stuff?
Yes. So that's the new mommy plan, healing meals, simple recipes for new moms. So I took, again, the food science based on the postnatal anatomy and what's happening, and then I adapted it for a Western diet and lifestyle.
So when I went to DC, I cooked some recipes from the book. And they were good. They're simple, and the nice thing is the things that I've learned from Valerie and from applying your methods. It doesn't take me out of my.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah, she's beautiful. That's her logo. She's gorgeous, and she gets changed. I could say she gets new outfits.
I'm done.
No, so she has like a stroker one. Like we can include some of the images in the video. So if y'all are listening on the podcast or like on a podcast platform, please check out the YouTube video so you can see some of the beautiful art that has come out of Valerie's work and her projects. But the food was really interesting to me, as well as the routine, because yes, it takes time and I had to make time to do it, but it wasn't like this super laborious, like stressful experience. There were things that I was able to incorporate into my daily schedule. So like with the firming paste, I would do my firming paste, I would wrap myself, and then I would relax. I would be sitting on the computer, doing my work on the computer, or if I wanted to stand, and maybe when I'm supposed to be resting, but I would be standing and doing something simple like cooking, where I'm not doing a whole bunch of movement, but I'm kind of stationary. And it's, you're able to, incorporate it into your daily routine.
Y'all always hear Zach in the back.
in the
God.
background.
Please send help.
I said, please send help.
So the wrapping's important. Like you did the Bengkung wrapping that you can learn, and you have to learn from somebody. But also, that originates from Southeast Asia, Indonesia, and Malaysia. And so in the set, and I sell a modernized Bengkung wrap.
Yes.
That's a self-wrap. And it's by design so you don't move so much, or you bend down, or you twist. So it's there to keep you keep your core safe and supported.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in the 24/7 wrapping, and so that's at night you should relax, and your body needs to relax. So there's different things that I teach you, and that our postnatal coaching, because I also have other coaching programs, lunch and learn talks for corporates. I've spoken at Johnson & Johnson. They give you the highlights to incorporate. And you're right, it's not that hard when you have to do these things anyway. Yeah. You're gonna cook. So I try to postpartumize your meals that you like.
Postpartumize.
Yes, so we're postpartumizing your meals and what you do in your daily life, and everyone loves it. And they always say it's so grounding, because in addition to the 52 herbs that are in there and spices, there's medicinal roots, barks, leaves, and flowers that ground a mother that have been used for centuries in traditional feminine health care.
From cringing at the pump to getting an eye-popping check at your favorite restaurant, inflation is hitting us all where it hurts. And it really hurts. That's why I started using Upside. Upside is an incredible app for anyone who buys gas, groceries, or dines out. With every purchase, I'm earning cash back thanks to Upside. The app is super easy to use. You literally just click on the Upside app. You can enter your zip code or you can search what's near you. And when I say they give you cash back, I'm not talking about 1%, 2%. There are some places that give between 10 and 25% cash back. I'd love to tell you that I use my cash back on my kids, but the secret and honest truth is I use my cash back money on myself. I've been treating myself a little bit here and there because I'm the one making the smart decisions to even use Upside in the first place. It literally seems too good to be true. So that's why I need you to check it out for yourself. Upside is a no-brainer. To get started, download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play. Use our promo code THINK and get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. Next, claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. Check in at the business, pay as usual with a credit card or debit card, and get paid. In comparison to credit card rewards or loyalty programs, you can earn 3 times more cash back with Upside. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Upside users are earning more than $1 million every week. That's probably why they have a 4.8 star rating on the App Store. Download the free Upside app and use promo code THINK and get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more using promo code THINK.
For those of you who are not familiar, Nutribullet is easy to use, easy to clean, and it is an affordable blender. Nutribullet has sold more than 60 million units worldwide. And once you've used one, it's easy to see why. With other blenders, cleanup can be a pain. Sometimes it might even feel like you need a whole cleanup crew after each use. With the Nutribullet, cleanup is truly hassle-free. Even Parker can help me clean. Nutribullet's signature blending process transforms high-fiber fruits, veggies, nuts, and seeds into silky, nutrient-dense smoothies that are easy to digest and absorb. Don't settle for blenders that leave your smoothies filled with chunks. With the Nutribullet blender combos 1200 watts of power, your fruits and veggies never stood a chance. Blending your own smoothies at home make it easy to customize ingredients, allowing you to add more veggies, fruits, or spices at the fraction of the cost. Parker and I love using our blender to make our summer smoothies. Go to Nutribullet.com and use our promo code THINK for 20% off your order. Once again, that's Nutribullet.com and use our promo code THINK for 20% off. If you don't have Nutribullet in your kitchen, you are definitely missing out. It's time to ditch the chemicals with Caraway Home's non-toxic cookware and bakeware collections, so you can make healthier cooking a piece of cake. Caraway's Home non-toxic kitchenwares feature a chemical-free ceramic coating. Its ceramic coating allows for easy cooking and cleaning. All sets are equipped with easy access storage solutions so that no stacking is required. Gone are the days of misplacing your lids. They have the cookware set and the bakeware set. The bakeware set is an assortment of non-toxic baking essentials every kitchen needs, so you can get the baking goods without any of the bads. I feel so safe using my Caraway kitchenware, and I love that it's eco-friendly. Visit carawayhome.com/think to take advantage of this limited time offer for 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit caraway.com/think or use code THINK at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern.
There's like this turmeric fried rice in there.
I saw it.
It's so good.
The ginger fried rice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good. So see, the book has a bit of food science, postnatal food science in the beginning that I, repeated from the mommy plan just to give you the highlights. And it's good for dads too, because if your partner is not a chef, these are simple recipes that he can do.
Very simple.
If they want, because you also have to have certain expectations of your partner and what they can do and want to do.
I feel now I'm getting older. I'm starting to learn more that sometimes you need to assign a man. This is what you can do. And I feel that there is a disconnect in terms of pregnancy, especially, Cheyenne and I both had pandemic COVID kids. And
I've never heard somebody call them that.
no, it's weird because people will reach out to me. They're like, "How did you deal with having a pandemic baby?" And I'm like, "What? Like, I just had a baby. Like, what are you?"
I think
talking
because
about?
we already weren't people who like
Right.
go outside all the time.
Yeah, we're kind of homebodies in our own
so
way.
it was like, I'm okay.
I'm at home with my, pregnant. But, I know Zach really struggled because he couldn't go to the doctor's appointments. He was outside in the parking lot, but he couldn't go in the office. So he was, he'd be like, what can I do? He was very open and was looking, to see where he fit into the pregnancy and being supportive. And I think in terms of Cheyenne taking time for her recovery, like, it allowed him to, here's my little time with the baby and offer some
yeah, he liked the
bonding
hours.
time.
The hour that I would do with Tay,
Yeah.
he felt like it was
good for you.
his time to do like skin to skin with Ace and stuff. And Ryder was in school at the time, so we didn't really have to juggle her so much as juggling the baby.
Yeah, and your schedules. Yeah.
Right. But looking at this and just thinking about everything, so if you are pregnant, are the products safe to use as far as like the washes and the soaps and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. It's 100% natural. Yeah, there's no funny business in it. Again, it's Eco-Postnatal Care. My
Eco-friendly.
logo is right. Good for mom, baby, and the planet. Because we really have to. Everything is, recycled and all of that. And it's good. Even the tea is good. During with baby, it's the best tea. I love it for like digestive issues, and I even have my guy friends that have problems drink it.
Do you have some tea that'll make me poop?
Yeah, this is it.
Oh, okay.
This is it because it's all surface.
Am I gonna lose some weight?
I'm just asking. I can wrap you.
Just
I
a
still have
question.
my mommy wrap.
I would like some tea that's gonna make me shit. Okay.
I mean, even for menses, like monthly menses, these the same type of massages with more deep heat and using. Remember the fresh herbal compress I made you?
Oh,
Do you have this tea at the house?
I drank it all.
Y'all, that's so rude
When I
because
tell
Kyle
you-
got all the products and listen to what she shared with me, a bar of soap. Like, it was the best bar of soap. Don't
Y'all.
get me wrong, but I'm just confused on
Well, all the other products.
are you on Ryder? Oh, you're not on TikTok. Just kidding.
I like how Ryder just keeps coming in with his phone like, Mom. She's not even saying anything. It's his
No.
phone in face. Like,
I just want to know why you got all the products and that's the only thing you shared.
because I was recovering and I wanted to feel.
I'm recovering too.
I wanted to feel the full experience, and because at the time I needed it. I really needed it. We haven't really talked about the transition of becoming a mother and balancing 2 children and being like, I think if I had a full-time partner or not, I would
You'd still feel
feel it. I still needed it. So I wasn't trying to hold out on you. I just
whatever.
genuinely was like,
whatever.
my products, my recovery. This is me taking my power and investing in myself.
And here's a bar of
And-
soap, Shy.
Okay, you guys, Cheyenne's talking about this bar of soap like it wasn't the greatest thing that
No, it
she hasn't tried.
was. Mom and I argued over it one day, but that's not the point.
Okay, I've been really sad because I have not been able to go to the spa because I'm still full-time nursing, and
Girl.
Zaire and I just haven't.
Nursing or not,
Hold on.
I can't remember the last time I've been to a spa. I want to go to the spa so bad.
Okay, we'll go soon. We have certificates. We gotta go. We'll make some time. We're gonna do this. We owe it to ourselves. Okay, mom date, no guilt, no mom guilt. Our kids will be great.
Our kids will be great.
Our kids will be great. So there's this brown formulation soap, and when I tell you, at first I was like, oh, okay, just another bar of soap. I actually recorded myself using this bar of soap for the very first time. So you guys may see some very funny, intimate moments with me in this podcast video. Tune into the YouTube. Literally 2 minutes in, I'm like, Mom, you got to try this soap. And she's like, let me try it. I'm like, no, this one's mine. Like,
Oh yeah, Mom was so offended.
'Cause I'm really-
She's like, I'm sure you get everything else from me. Like, you're not gonna let me use your soap.
I was like, no, I'll get you. You can have your own bar of soap. but you could feel the herbs and like the scents, like there's cinnamon, there's ginger, there's turmeric. So it helps with like the discoloration and like the hyperpigmentation that sometimes comes with pregnancy, and just your hormones are all over the place. So I was literally in the shower. I turned the heater on in there because I was like, I'm learning about the cold state and the warm state.
That's a good idea.
My reaction in this video is probably so like, why is this lady so hyped up over this bar of soap? But I felt like I was like in you know how we go to like We Spa, we go to a Korean spa, we get a full body exfoliation. I in that moment was like, I don't need to go to the spa because the spa is here with me right now. And it wasn't just like a state of like I'm relaxing, but it was the scents, like the aromatherapy. You could really feel the exfoliation. It wasn't like one of those like cheap, like let me go grab some at the grocery store and like scrub it and it's abrasive, or like
no, there's actually
it hurts.
Brown white rice and glutinous rice, and that's the exfoliation part.
Because that's cool.
You need to slough off your dead skin cells in order to open your pores
and on your stomach, like
absorb the products for maximum.
Yes.
No, I really like the soap, so I'm gonna have to get some more product.
You know, there's this herbal oil in there that's amazing. There's you got your virgin coconut oil that you rub on there. There's
the calming paste.
Oh yes. I have pictures, so I'm gonna,
Yeah, I walked in on this one day. I was like, what the hell is going on up here? But it was a whole thing. But Valerie, what is the ultimate goal?
I mean, the goal is for women to realize that they needed to actively manage their recovery from day one, but it's very gentle. It's not this big process. And you've been talking about the products and how you use them. Well, I've created a whole plan. So it's like a plan for the first 30 days. If
she
you get
spells it out,
like the full Monty with morning and evening, or lesser products, but you'll know when to use them for your body. And it's traditional feminine healthcare, so it's good at any time. So you can still use the feminine wash, the tea, the herbal oil, which I only use for my massages. And the goal is for women to realize that if you have only 2 weeks or 4 weeks for recovery, you got to start it earlier and you have it planned out so it's consecutive healing. Because how we break it down in Malaysia is week by week. What's the body doing the first week? The first week, it's like the lochia is being released, the toxins are starting to be released, and we support that. The second week, is strengthening a bit of digestion, plus all of those things happening in the background. And so we build on it week by week, but the body starts healing within hours after the placenta is birthed. Because the hormones drop. And we don't see any of this because it's internal until we feel it. And so you just want to be ready. Like you have your spare tire in the car. And I say this because I had a tire incident this morning. And you need just to have all of these tools in your toolkit as and when. And then you'd be like, thank God I have it, instead of searching for it. Because when you're in the throes of having a baby, I've had people reach out to me in labor and order their set when they're finally like, oh, I need something. And saying to have that and to know when to use it, that helps the body just shed this process, because it's at a unique time that only happens after childbirth. And it's it's just how the body, it's like God's gift, it's our body's gift back to us to get back to normal. Yeah, in quotes.
I think this would be a great push gift. I feel like with social media, this idea of a push gift has been like shoved in our faces a little bit, just like with snapback culture. If my partner had given me this like gift of recovery, I would have been ecstatic. So it's like for dads or for partners of pregnant women, for families, grandparents, sisters, brothers, like if you know someone who is pregnant, share this with them, because you really have no idea how necessary it is and how good it is. So it's like my postpartum experience at first was really wonky, and it was really like, it was rough. Your sis was struggling. But once I started doing the program, it gave me a whole different feeling, idea of what postpartum is and what it can be. And it turned into a really positive experience. So with Valerie saying like your partum, it gave me the ability to create something for myself that was uplifting, and it gave me something to look forward to. And I feel like it worked. I know I was like, no, but it's like, I feel like it was really like, it's worked. In terms of like the products, like my hyperpigment, like my hormones go crazy, you know, as everyone. But I have really bad hyperpigmentation, like my underarms and my groin area. My stuff is lighter now. Like, things that I was feeling insecure about, I've learned how to embrace by taking care of it actively. My weight had kind of plateaued. I lost another 15 pounds after doing the program.
Incredible.
So where can people find the products at?
They can find it on my website at Eco-Postnatal
Do you have an Instagram?
I do. Instagram is eco_postnatal care.
And then we'll put all of this in the description on our Instagram, and then also on the YouTube description box. So if you guys don't tune into the visual aspect of the podcast, you guys can find it in the caption on the Instagram, so that you guys can go and check out Valerie's website and her Instagram and go do some shopping, if not for yourself, then for somebody else that you know. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode and get to take in a little bit of information that Valerie splashed on us today. We definitely appreciate you coming on and sharing your knowledge,
taking the time to, you know, it's crazy how like sometimes in life we have these crazy experiences and you're like, what is all of this for? So thank you for turning that moment into like a positive and doing the research and taking the time to utilize the environment that you were in and to really embrace it and to be able to share it. Cause it's, you know, there's some of us, we're looking, we just don't know where to look. So it's nice to know that there are good people who just take initiative to figure things out, and they may not know it in that time, but it's, you know, the work that you've done, I believe will really help not only me, but other people out there who are like, yo, I just want to feel better. I just want to recover. I just want to get through this phase, because it's temporary. You know, when you're in it, it feels like, oh my gosh, I'm in it. I'm stuck. But it can be a temporary moment that you can push through. So
you'd be very surprised when you know what to do with the body and when, and capitalize on what's happening after childbirth. The process, you really heal better, faster, stronger, and healthier. So you can get through that initial healing process. You'll still be recovering for the subsequent 6 weeks and months, but you'll have better quality time with baby because you're emotionally and mentally, you know, stabilized.
Yeah.
I love it. So every episode, we end our episode with, we either give words of advice or we share like a WTF moment. So
not Kyle spelling it out.
No, what's crazy? I was at Staples and the guy was like, "Oh, what's the podcast?" And I told him, I was like, "Oh, we're three moms, you know, getting real with." I basically said our little intro, and he said, "What's a WTF moment?" And I wanted to look at him and say,
"This right here."
I was like, "How old are you?" And I was like, "Excuse my language, but what the fuck?" And he was like, "Oh, I've never heard that." And everything in me wanted to say, do you not have a phone, a kid around you? Like, I wish
how old was he?
Oh, he was like in his 30s.
Oh, okay.
He was like a mid-30-year-old man. Like,
what do you have this week, Kyle? Advice or WTF moment?
My advice is to treat someone with these kits. If you can't get the full kit, at least get the wash, get the tea, change your life and order whatever you can, because it's you know, I'm sold. And it's not like I'm sold. I experienced the process. And like I said, everyone who I know who's either recently given birth or they're delivering or they're pregnant, I'm like, hey, here you go. Like, let me help you make the process better, not only for the mother, but it helps the dads, because at the end of the day, you need a happy lady, you need a happy mom, because the mom is, you know, she's there to take care of the baby. And if she's not happy, you're going to get the grunt of the hormonal aggression, possibly, and the outburst. And, you know, your child, you know, may or may not feel that energy, but it's, do this treat for yourself. It really helps the family, I feel.
Valerie? Do you have a WTF or you have some advice?
I just have a question. Are your pooping problems, did that happen before?
Oh, no, I'm just trying to lose weight. I can poop all the time.
Oh, okay.
Should I wrap you? I can wrap you.
I'm just trying to fit into this dress on Saturday.
I still wrap myself.
Hydrocolonic detox.
So that's a whole other thing that we got to learn about. You said hydrocolonic?
Yeah, the hydrocolonic detox, yeah.
Maybe we should go get them.
Or just a hydrocolonic, but yeah, that's a whole
I
other
need something because this dress is looking a little small.
It's like, I just want to poop
But
more.
I poop all the time. I'm just trying to poop a little bit more.
No, I want women to realize that they can, take care of themselves after childbirth, menses. There are ways to recover, and you should recover from miscarriage, stillborn birth, and abortion that are not in the U.S. And we have to look to counselors outside of the U.S. and embrace them very simply. And I've been studying it for 15 years now, and I would love to share it with more people.
I love this.
I think it's great.
I'm about to go get some products. Hopefully they get here by Saturday so I can shit tomorrow. But anyway, let me think about mine. I don't really have advice.
You have a big weekend coming up.
Oh my God, guys.
Tell us about your
Send
weekend.
help. That's a whole WTF in itself.
Ryder's turning 5.
Ryder's 5th birthday is Saturday, which is a WTF because you guys know how I do parties, and this one's just a lot. But I feel like
party are we having, Shy?
so we're having a tea party we always have tea parties when we turn 5 for the women in our family. So that's exciting because it's this tradition. But on top of that, I've been planning Ryder's 5th birthday. I've been planning Ace's 1st birthday. And then I've been planning the Nails by Ryder K launch party / pop-up. And I swear yesterday, every event, even though Ace and the nail polish launch aren't until May, every event had a Zelle due. Like, I needed to Zelle something to secure something for each event. I maxed out both of my Zelle accounts, like accounts that I could Zelle from. And I was telling Corey, who's helping me, she helps me plan. And I'm like, girl, I can't do anything else today. Like, you got to leave me alone. Like, give me a break. What the fuck?
My bank account.
Like, my bank accounts are literally saying no. And she's like, but what? I'm like, no, you don't get it. Like, there's no but. I can't do anything unless someone wants to send me a link and I can pay on a credit card. But like,
Zelle said
Zelle is literally saying no, girl. And Zelle has told me no for the past like 3 days. Every day has been something. I'm just like, oh my God, why did I do this to myself? So next year, I'm not doing this. Like, we're gonna go on a trip or something, but I literally every morning I wake up to like massive text messages of things that I have to do, buy, plan, or Zelle, and I want to say fuck off to all of them, but I can't. So that is my WTF. But God is good. I'm not complaining, but I'm complaining. But yeah, that's my WTF. My Zelle's been maxed out for the past 3 days, and these events better be worth it.
I'm excited for the birthdays.
I'm excited too. So next week I'll be able to tell you guys about Ryder's birthday, and we can talk about how it went, and if I'm recovering from my bank account, because right now I'm just taking L's every day. But thank you guys for listening to this episode. I'm very excited that we were able to talk about postpartum care. How do you keep saying it differently than I say it? What did you say?
Postnatal.
I provide Eco-Postnatal Care.
There we go.
I want to emphasize the natural.
Yeah, I like how you say it. I like your voice too.
And it's
You're very
good
calming.
for
You make me feel like I have to
mom,
talk
baby,
low or
and
whisper or
planet.
something. I'm like,
It's a very soothing voice.
right. I'm like,
it's
do
very
I have a soothing voice?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Even when the way you said, is it? Like,
yeah, I'm like, I feel like I have to talk like down here.
do some voiceovers.
But you guys can follow us at Think Loud Crew on Instagram and on our YouTube, and you can check us out on any podcast platforms. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave good feedback, rate us on the podcast platforms because it helps our podcast continue to grow.
Yes.
And then you can follow me at Shy Not Shy.
And you can follow me at Lynn. And Valerie, can you let us know where we can find you again?
You're doing the soft voice.
I'm just trying to match your energy.
All right, whatever.
Instagram Eco_postnatal care. That's ECO_. and then ecopostnatalcare.com.
Perfect.
Perfect.
We'll put all of that in here, and y'all go help yourselves, help someone you love, and go get a kit, get some products.
You guys have a good week.
It's time to ditch the chemicals with Caraway Home's non-toxic cookware and bakeware collections, so you can make healthier cooking a piece of cake. Caraway's home non-toxic kitchenwares feature a chemical-free ceramic coating. Its ceramic coating allows for easy cooking and cleaning. All sets are equipped with easy access storage solutions so that no stacking is required. Gone are the days of misplacing your lids. They have the cookware set and the bakeware set. The bakeware set is an assortment of non-toxic baking essentials every kitchen needs, so you can get the baking goods without any of the bads. I feel so safe using my Caraway kitchenware, and I love that it's eco-friendly. Visit carawayhome.com/think to take advantage of this limited time offer for 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit caraway.com/think or use code THINK at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern.